the simple and compound interest. So what is simple interest? Simple interest is the interest calculated solely on the principal amount borrowed or invested. It is calculated only one for the entire time period of the loan. So the formula in getting the simple interest is interest equals principal times rate times time. Okay, so getting the time, ways there are two ways in identifying the time. First is when we are using years. When the time period of a loan is a year or longer, use the number of years as the time factor. And then here, 2 is equals to 2 years and 1.5 is equals to 1.5 years. Next is for months. When the time period of a loan is a specified number of months, express the factor as a fraction of a year. So note that the number of months is the numerator and the number of months, which is 12, or rather the number of months in a year, which is 12, is the denominator. So here is an example. So 1 over 12 is equal to 1 month, or I'm sorry, there is a typographical error, while 5 over 12 is equals to 5 months. Now let us proceed in solving simple interest. So what is the amount of interest for a loan of $4,000 at 7% interest for 2 and 1/4 years? So let us use this formula. Interest is equals to principal times rate times time. So let us substitute the given variable. So 4,000 is the principal, and then 0.07 is the rate. So you need to convert the 7% into decimal. That's why we have 0.07. And then 2.25 is the time. You also need to convert the fraction part into decimal. That's why we got 2.25. So as we solve this problem, we will get $630. Okay? There are two types of simple interest. First is the exact interest. It is the interest calculation method using 365 days or 366 in a leap year as the time factor denominator. So in calculating the time for exact interest is the number of days of a loan is equals to over 365, or if it is a leap year, number of days of a loan over 366. Next is the ordinary interest, or also known as the banker's rule. It is the interest calculation method using 360 days as the time factor denominator. So to calculate for the time using ordinary interest, it is the number of days of a loan over 360. There. Number of days of a loan over 360. Now let us compute this given problem. Gabe borrowed $24,500 at 8% for 119 days. If the lender calculates interest by the exact interest method, what is the amount of interest of the loan? So to calculate for the time, it is number of days of a loan over 365. 365, since it is stated in the problem that the interest calculated using exact interest method. So we will use this given formula. The interest is equals to principal times rate times time. So let us substitute the variable. So 24,500 is for the principal. 0.08 is for the rate. Don't forget to convert the percentage into decimal. And then for the time, we have 119 over 365. So as we compute this problem, we will get $639.01. So don't forget to round off the decimal to two decimal places. Okay? Next, Carol borrows $13,000 at 9.5% interest for 200 days. If the lender uses ordinary interest method, how much interest will Carol have to pay? So in getting the time, number of days of a loan over 360 days. So 360 since we will be using ordinary interest method. So same as before, interest is equals to principal times rate times time. So let us substitute. So 13,000 is for the principal, 0.095 is for the rate, and then 200 over 360 is for the time. So as we calculate this, or as we solve this given equation, we will get $686.11. Okay, so now we have the magic triangle. So using the simple interest formula, the magic triangle. So we have this magic triangle in solving the other variables in the simple interest. So here in the first triangle, the formula for interest is principal times rate times time. While in getting the principal, you will divide the interest and then, so I mean, in getting the formula, or the formula in getting the principal is interest over rate times time, while in time, interest over principal times rate, and in rate is equals to interest over principal times time. Now, let us solve this given problem. A firm borrowed money at 9% interest for 125 days. If the interest charge was $560, use the ordinary interest method to calculate the amount of principal of the loan. So here is our formula. So principal is equals to interest over rate times time. So as we substitute this, 560 is the interest, 0.09 is our rate, and then 125 over 360 is our time. So as we calculate this, we will get $17,920. So the principal of the firm is $17,920. Next is, what is the rate of interest of a loan of $25,000 for 245 days if the amount of interest is 1,960 using the ordinary interest method? So for the rate, interest over principal times time. So let us substitute. The interest is 1,960, and then the principal is 25,000, and then the time is 245 over 360. As we compute this, we will get 0.1152, and then we need to multiply it to 100 since we're looking for the percentage. So we will get 11.52%. What is the period of a loan for $15,000 at 9.5% ordinary interest if the amount of interest is $650? So using this formula, let us substitute. 650 is for the interest, 15,000 is for the principal, and 0.095 is for the rate. So as we calculate this, we will get 26 over 27. But remember, we need to multiply it to 360 since we're looking for the time. So as we multiply this, we will get 164.21 days